What is going on, guys? Rodney here with Crypto Bros. Welcome to tonight's episode. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be taking a look at some coins sitting on some pretty low supports and some projects that I'm interested in that I think are good buys currently. I'm not going to hype any of these up. And actually, if we take a step back, most all altcoins are sitting on super low supports, 60, 70, 80% down from all-time highs. Tonight I'm going to be talking about a few that I like. A couple of these are coins that I'm a part of, and a few of them are not. So let's jump into this. What I was originally going to do is I was going to go through a couple articles first. I didn't want this, but I think the new things that hit. But I think the episode would get very long if I went through all of these, then jumped into some of these coins. But this one caught my eye. It says sharding is already ushering in radical new Ethereum designs. If you guys know anything about sharding, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm actually a big fan of sharding. That sounds weird, but two projects that I really like in terms of sharding are both Archain and Zilliqa, which we'll talk about tonight. But they're going to be they're going to start implementing this into Ethereum. I will post the link to this article below. Let me click it now so we can get into there. Basically, just I did a quick skimmerooski here, and it just says they're going to try to start implementing this as it's becoming more of a viable option in terms of scaling Ethereum. The other one I was going to look at, I don't actually think there's anything else up on this on Cointelegraph, but some cool articles in here. But the big one that I really did want to touch on was this right here. I came across today. It says South Korea exchanges move to mainstream cryptocurrency use. I thought that this made sense, at least to talk about briefly, only for the fact that we catch a lot of FUD and negative news and things about South Korea and how it impacts the market as a whole, that seeing something positive or some overall good sentiment towards cryptocurrency in this South Korean space is a great thing. So anyway, all this basically says, South Korea is a powerhouse there. I think the number 3 user or what is it? The number 3 ranked in terms of cryptocurrency. It's like it's Japan, USA, South Korea. So, they hold some stake in the game. They got a little skin in the game. But anyway, this just says a report from Korea Times states that BitThump, the country's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, and Pay, a mobile payment service provider, have linked a partnership agreement to enable transactions at 6,000 business outlets across the country by the end of the first half of the year. If we think about when that is, that's like June. That's literally 3 months from now because it's basically April. BitThump also has partnerships with YE, South Korea's largest hotel booking platform. Per that agreement, customers can conduct transactions using cryptocurrencies on site. Also very cool, seeing more adoption, more implementation into their society, which I think is great on a global scale. Then if we just go down here, it says the goal, according to BitThump spokesperson, is to ensure spending cryptocurrency is as easy as spending fiat money or cash. I think that's pretty awesome. It says South Korea's internet giant Crypto, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, has also integrated crypto payments for 12,000 merchants on its platform. Collectively, the integration of cryptocurrencies into mainstream economy could help mop up additional revenue for the government in the form of taxes or transaction tax. Well done, South Korea. Speaking of taxes, I'm actually doing mine now, and it is a nightmare. I tried to pawn off my stuff to my accountant for him to kind of go through and figure out the USD values, and of course that doesn't happen. I'm not using one of those online tracker things, and I got into altcoins in the later part of 2017, and really all I was doing was just buying. So I'm going back in time, seeing what the price of Bitcoin was at the time of the purchase, converting into all that into USD. He's asking me to do way more things that I wanted to do. So in terms of where I'm going to trend this year, I'm going to be, I think, a little more selective in moves that I make just so it isn't so taxing, no pun on words, to do my taxes because it's super annoying. The other article that, and actually somebody just sent me this. I haven't even read this. Oh wait, this isn't the one I want. I guess we'll touch on it, but this isn't the one that I was thinking was next. But I think most of you guys have seen that the Binance moves to Malta. If we think about it from like a global standpoint, a lot of these like smaller countries that can potentially jump in, like they found an in to what are those boys? They found an in to kind of lead the way in terms of cryptocurrency, in terms of putting themselves on the map, in terms of being like a hub. So for them to adopt Binance is pretty cool. Obviously, their whole country is very excited about this, and I don't know what that has in store exactly for Binance, but shout out to Malta and their prime minister. I think if his vision is not malicious in terms of cryptocurrency is the next big thing, kind of being a front runner here in terms of adoption, I think is huge for them. So anyway, this was the article that I was gonna reference. I haven't even read this yet. The headline, someone just sent me the headline, but it says in 2018, Ripple price prediction sees a gain of 840%. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. This could be an interesting read. I will check it out. But anyway, I will post the links to all of these articles below if you want to check it out. I definitely know that there are some big-time Ripple fans out there. I own Ripple. I'm not in the Ripple camp, but I think it's good to have for your portfolio. So anyway, let's get into the actual meat of this video. So anyway, what we're going to do is switch over to this shit off. Binance. The coins that we're going to be looking at today are all the charts look like this. It's a lot of charts that are sitting on low supports or have had huge retracements. And not only that, like a lot of people in terms of traders, they'll trade charts that are down. I think the golden retrace fib is the 61.8, but they'll wait for stuff to hit 61.8, 70, 80% dips, and then start doing these accumulation trades. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's actually what I've done over the last, I don't know, since we've seen this bearish huge downturn in the market. It's a good time to accumulate. Now I'm not dumping like thousands in there, but I am making some smaller pickups on this. And really, if you're wondering like how I do this, like I'm not a technical analysis wizard. I'm not good at it. I don't know how to do it well, but I usually on the daily, I'll run through these coins and just kind of see what is sitting on what support. So this is obviously the weekly for Syndicator, and obviously there's not a ton of information here, but I usually just start clicking through these coins and just, man, this is loading terribly slow. Clicking through these coins and just seeing what is sitting super, super low. So in this example, actually I know there's some better ones that are out here. So yeah, like this isn't something I would do. I wouldn't jump in on Neblio. Let's check out Lisk here. Lisk, I don't know, that's not a huge retracement, and really I'm just eyeballing these. So we're looking at 37.5 down to 12. So okay, that's fairly large. When I would find something that makes like sense, like, yeah, let's go this. This is one we're going to be talking about tonight. When I find one that makes sense, I'll actually pull it up on TradingView. That's retarded. So here, we can go to the daily on Wabi. So look at Wabi's. The all-time high of 0.00407, and we are down to, add another zero in there, 98.57. So we can see this huge retrace top to the bottom. Now, if we actually flip over to coin market cap, we can eye this up a little bit better. We can see it's had an all-time high of right around $5. We are currently sitting at a price point of 75 cents. If Wabi was a project that you were super into, this would be something that you would want to accumulate now. Because when these things start recovering again, a lot of people are calling for May. This is how people kind of turn. This is like the true definition of buying like the dip. this right here definitely counts as like the dip as well. But a lot of good, strong, fundamental traders, people who believe in the space, they're buying everything down here. I mean, look at this when it debuted off ICO, $1.52 with a low of $1.05. We're currently below that price. So even if we rounded this for $1, that's still a 5x on your money at some point when this returns to the all-time high. So in today's video, some of the coins that I want to talk about. I have a small amount of Wabi. I think this is a super cool project. They're working with counterfeiting stuff, I don't really want to go too in depth on the project, but it started out with like these formulas overseas were getting counterfeit, and then babies died, and they're starting to implement these type of RFID tags onto products so you can actually verify that they're real. So it's a counterfeit counter tactic, if you will. But anyway, so the number one coin on here is Utrust. I actually don't own any Utrust whatsoever. Super interesting project. Some call it the PayPal of the cryptocurrency world. If we look at the price points here, we have an all-time high in USD of about $1.38, and right now we're at a current price point of like 15 cents. I can't do that math, but a 10x would put it at $1.50. So we're looking at somewhere between, an 8, 7, 8, 9, 10x on your money at the current price point. Also, super cool project as it is. Maybe Utrust isn't your bag, but for others, they might love it. So I'm playing this accumulation trade on projects you like or you believe in. I think is super important because anyone's going to be able to trade this. But when it's something you like, it's easier to hold on to, or you're knowledgeable about it. It's easier to hold on to as these things go through dips. Number two, this is also this Power Ledger is a project that I think is really awesome. If we look at all-time highs, right around $1.80, current price point, 33 cents. I can remember about I've cost averaged into some Power Ledgers. I've shorted a little bit of Power Ledger, not much, but I can remember buying this around $1 and $1.15. But anyway, I think this is another great one, and obviously there's a lot of support behind Power Ledger. If we look at some of the major YouTubers, Ian Bellina, some of these other guys, big believers in Power Ledger. They have a working in-action project, and things are only going to grow. Obviously, everything is down at this point. So, if you guys want to leave comments down below that are talking about, what about this coin, what about that coin, really, you can say that for so many coins as you kind of scroll through these different charts and just seeing, what is sitting on the bottom. Wabi isn't a great one. What we're going to do, actually, is we're going to skip to, we'll just check it out here, Neo. I don't actually own any Neo. I think I felt at the time that I missed the boat when Neo was at about $30, and so I never bought in. But if we look at one, here's the daily chart, but two, let's check out this weekly. Look at this retrace. So roughly 15,200 to current price point of I don't know, we'll call it 7,500. That's a 50% retrace. I think there's depending on what the market does, depending on what Bitcoin does, there might be some room for this to fall into the 40, or under the $50 mark, into the 40s. Some are even saying high 30s. This is one I've been watching, and if that is the case, I will absolutely be picking up Neo. I think of all of these projects, Neo might be my top dog for my next investment. So CoinMarketCap currently showing $57.62. If we kind of look at the, just their chart, we saw an all-time high on here of, let's see where we're at, $160, basically, give or take a few, all the way down to 57. If you picked up 4 or 5, 6 or 7 of these at $50, which isn't too large of an investment, and this kind of climbs back up to the top. You make $100 on each coin as we turn up there. That's a pretty good return on investment. Also, I think it's important to mention a lot of these projects that are being built on top of the Neo network are starting to pop off. They're starting to jump on Binance. They're starting to gain some traction. And I think as more of these dApps get added to Neo, Am I hesitant to call it the next Ethereum? Sure. I'm not bold enough to make that statement on here, but a lot of people say that, and a lot of them think that Neo is your next, four-figure cryptocurrency, and I think that's absolutely possible. I've heard people, call it in the next 12 to 18 months, which would be fantastic. And if they're calling for the market to turn around in May, this could be, between this $30 and $50 range, could be one of the last times we see this for a while. I don't like to speculate that hard on price point, but it is what it is. So Neo's a top contender for me. As you guys know, I am a Zilliqa fanboy, currently under 5 cents. Here's the thing about Zilliqa, and I've said this before, I've made a video on it. This is one of the platforms this is one of the coins in terms of like very high throughput, very high transaction processes. They are actively using sharding and have figured out how to make it work. So two coins that I really like are Zilliqa and Archain, and it's because they are very high throughput. They're like a next level, blockchain. They would be competing with like a Cardano. But this, like if we look at where it came out of the gates, this hasn't even had a chance to make its run up yet. And I think this project is really great to begin with. I will post the link to my Zilliqa video towards the end of this if you don't really know what it is. Current price point is great, and I think this is just an overall great accumulation trade. You can get a lot of Zilliqa for a cheap price. I would say maybe, depending on what your thought is, maybe you look at the total supply and think that, at 12 billion coins, this really isn't, one for you. But if we look at the market cap at $300 million dollars, I think this is easily a $1 billion coin. We've already seen a high. I think it was right maybe around 15 cents. So, we'd even be looking at like a 3x from current price point, which is still no one really can complain about, especially on a quality project. Talked about Neo already. And the last but not least is Cardano. And I believe of all the coins I reviewed, this had the largest retracement from all-time high to current price point. So we're right around $1.22. I've seen 28. So we'll call it $1.30 to make it even, to current price point of 16 cents. So sitting very, very bottom, very low from the all-time high. And I mean, obviously this coin has a lot of hype. And what I like about the coins outside of maybe like Utrust and Zilliqa, what I like about some of these coins that I picked, Power Ledger, Wabi, Neo, Cardano, is that these are not brand new projects to just hit the market. So they've been around, they've went kind of through this hype phase, people know what they are, they're starting to make progress in their in whatever they're working on. So these aren't brand new things. So after we kind of get over this first initial market cycle, we can start reaching new highs, setting new lows, higher lows, those types of things. And that's what I kind of like about some of these, because it's very easy to pick out brand new coins that sound really awesome, that don't have a lot of data. And usually in terms of profit making, you can shoot up pretty high. You can do a 2, 3, 4, 5x in the right market fairly quickly. With some of these, I would say really everything that I've picked here is in my long-term hold bucket outside of Utrust, but Power Ledger, Wabi, Zilliqa, Cardano, and then I guess Neo, because I don't have any. These are all, fairly strong fundamental holds for a lot of people. So anyway, those are my, what is that, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my 6, picks currently. And you guys, there's a ton of these. There's a ton of coins sitting on these super low supports that you can start accumulating. And as soon as we start to kind of see that shift in the market, there's a lot of money to be made if you believe in cryptocurrency, or, if this is your thing. But, looking over at the overall sentiment of the market, we're just sitting over $300 billion, and Bitcoin dominance, 45%. Literally, as I was getting ready to shoot this video, I just watched it slowly creep up from, 4.9 all the way to 45%. Lately, with everything that's been going on, a lot of people have been tethering up. A lot of people have been staying out. Not a lot of trade action going on. I don't remember if I mentioned this. The only trade that I think I've made, like true trade, in 2018 may have been Storm, and that was just within the last week. If you guys have seen any of my previous videos, I like Storm a lot for whatever reason. And anyway, it bumped up over 150%. I can actually post the video that I made on New Year's Eve for Storm. You know, as I was first kind of learning about it, I will say in that video I was super hungover. See if you can tell, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you this evening. You know, if you're enjoying these videos, if I'm providing value, if you're learning something, if you want to be a part of the community, by all means, hit the subscribe button. We've got some really great contributors out there. You know, they actually provide value in the comment section. It's not just like Moon this, Turd Coin, this sucks, you suck. There are some really good and smart people that contribute, so I appreciate you guys. And then also doing my quintessential Superman impression. Smash up the likes, peeps. Smash up the likes. The likes do not have enough likes. Smash them up. So do that as well if you're digging these, and I will catch you guys later. See ya.